The early days of WoW, they were weird. The leveling was wonky, the raids were hell. Barely anyone did Sunrow Plateau when it was current content, because everybody was back raiding Karazhan, and the lore was unclear, it was absent, and it was all over the place. One such example of this is Wrath of the Lich King, more specifically, the start of the expansion. While it finished strong, it revolutionized in-game cinematics, created a coherent story that would be a start to a chain reaction for every expansion after. Its start began without much meat. Looking back on it, Arthas just woke up out of the blue, took control of the dead, and invaded the south. It wouldn't be until the Chronicle books that we got a formal reason of why, which is actually today's question and is pretty interesting to look at because of all the hype around 9.0, the Shadowlands, Bolvar, and all that good stuff. So without further ado, why did Arthas invade Azeroth? What did he have to gain from it? Well, first, some context to the context that is the context of today's topic. Now, I'm not going to go over everything, just go play Warcraft 3 or Reforged when it comes out, but all you really need to know is that Arthas, in believing it could be used to save his people from the plague, took up Frostmourne and began his new life as the first of the Lich King's Death Knights. As for the Lich King, before Arthas merged with his soul, he was once ner'zhul, and ner'zhul had been placed in the helm of domination by the Legion for essentially betraying the Horde and retreating to other worlds through numerous portals that ripped Draenor apart and turned it into the Outland we know and love to hate today. Now, for his transgressions, ner'zhul was torn apart by the Legion, but eventually agreed to help them create their next plan to dominate Azeroth. This plan was to convert Azeroth into the mindless undead so the Legion would have an easy time invading and conquering the world, because it's a lot easier to kill zombies than it is, let's say, a civilization. So, ner'zhul's spirit was locked within the helm of domination, as I said, and was placed atop the frozen throne for a worthy subject to find, and that worthy subject would be Arthas.
We are one.
And so Arthas merged with ner'zhul and created a mega ultimate Death Knight, or you could probably just call that the Lich King. Anyways, Arthas and ner'zhul would begin sharing a conscience in the dormant body of the new Lich King, but Arthas believed that sharing would only cause conflicts of interest, arguments, and impasses. Arthas did not like to share. You can do with that information what you will. So he drove ner'zhul's spirit insane, using his own guilt, and became the sole owner of the Lich King's power. Now, with his mind clear, he began recovering his strength and plotting his next move. To quote the Chronicle, as a paladin, Arthas had always sought to bring order and justice to Azeroth. That desire remained, but it was now far more twisted than ever before. A world ruled by the undead would have no more injustice, no more wars, no more mortal flaws. Perhaps most importantly to the Lich King, he believed his scourge would be far more capable of defending Azeroth against threats that would try and conquer it. So why would Arthas invade Azeroth? Well, to defend Azeroth, of course. Though it is quite ironic that his plan to unite Azeroth under the Scourge had also been his plan for the Burning Legion to easily conquer the world, which is If you ever want to do a what-if scenario, there you go. But even so, Arthas believed in his plan and would launch probing assaults on places like the Scarlet Enclave, Stormwind, and Orgrimmar in hopes they would march their armies north and take the fight to him. Little did Azeroth know that his ultimate plan was to drive both factions toward the Frozen Throne, test the might of their greatest champions, and ultimately use them to fulfill his conquests.
You trained them well, Fordring. You delivered the greatest fighting force this world has ever known. Right into my hands, exactly as I intended. You shall be rewarded for your unwitting sacrifice. Watch now, as I raise them from the dead to become masters of the Scourge. They will shroud this world in chaos and destruction. Azeroth's fall will come at their hands, and you will be the first to die.
But no one expects Ashbringer, and thus Arthas' plans were foiled. He died, and Bolvar became the new Lich King. Now I hope that clears any questions you might have had about why we waged war against the Lich King and why he initially attacked us to begin with, but if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns regarding this video, WoW, or its lore, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.